change my name so it's Pops now because I joined a tournament expert plan. Go check them out on Instagram. Yeah, so what's up?
As things proceed, we're going to be interested in both what the federal government is imposing and also making sure that that's justified, but also what the states do. The states are very broad, as you know.
What's up, guys? Today was going to be playing some creative arena, whatever. Just a tiny little Christmas stream today. Yeah. And also, we're trying to get 100 V-Bucks so I can either buy Recon Expert or Snowbell. Snowbell or Scully. I think I'm going to end up buying Scully with Star One. So.
Even when the experts are saying this is a horrible time for us, health-wise, and they're very worried, increasingly worried, I think as time goes on, but they've been very patient as well.
Yes! Oh, we just bought the new bundle, and I got some things for Christmas. I got you can't see it, but I got the new Spider-Man for Christmas. Let's see, Pokemon card. I got a gift card earlier for $25 return. I used half of it to get $20 and half of it to get the pack that I am wearing right now. So let's go ahead and switch it up and land Misty Meadows. Also, there is a rumor going around that there is a mythical snowman, a golden mythical snowman. So, comment down below if you ever find it.
Economically, militarily, and a threat to the integrity of our institutions, given their ability to influence things.
And yet our premier academic institutions, Harvard University, our top schools across the country, Chinese students in to learn and to
2 kills on spawn.
Research.
Yeah?
Documented abuses. Federal investigation now. Indictments in Boston against a Harvard University professor for conspiring with the Chinese, allegedly. Any thoughts on those ongoing federal grants to institutions where, again, this is an all-out blitzkrieg? Why are we allowing all these Chinese researchers into the United States?
Well, I think we are trying to tighten up on those programs, and a number of the universities are working closely with the government to understand what the nature of the threat is. But it's not just
I don't like talking a lot. I don't know why.
But a lot of American businesses, just for short-term profit, or what they see as a short-term profit, they know over the long run it's not going to be long-term benefit to their business, but just for short-term gain, they are perhaps not doing what is necessary in the long-term interest of the United States.
Coming up, more highlights of my big interviews of 2020 from Vice President Pence and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo to Don Jr. and Kristi Noem.
When you die, are you going to heaven or not? You can know for sure. Heaven or not, God knows.
Constipation can happen all around us. You just need to know where to look. Luckily, there's Colace. It's the #1 doctor-recommended stool softener brand for occasional constipation.
Election observers in Georgia thought they were done counting for the night. But when they went home, security footage showed poll workers pulling out trunks containing ballots.
Bro, he's 30 health. He had a blue tack.
The media won't admit it, but it's on video. And now heavily Democrat DeKalb County supply chain of custody documents.
But it's okay, guys, because we are going to play another game, and then sooner or later we're gonna play creative. Oh, let's go, guys. We got 10,000 XP, GG Fresh. Soon we will be getting that 100 V-Bucks, and then we could finally make our decision for buying the skins. Comment down below what we should buy. I'm gonna have 1,200 V-Bucks, so we could either buy Snowbell, Recon Expert, Scully, this Carver skin, Holly Striker, the Falala Fisted, the Renner's Raider, I could send it a gift, Nogops, Frosted Flurry, all these skins in the item shop, guys, Boundless. So yeah, comment down below, and I also think sooner or later during the season I'm going to be giving another $25 gift card. Holla! So I'm gonna have 500 V-Bucks, and probably we're gonna probably get Snowdrift, Frost Series, Snowdrift, Snowheart, looking thick, Fast Brick. This is the skin that I mostly want. This one looks pretty good. This one looks pretty cool. The Ice Kitsune. I'm pretty sure this goes to the Drift. This one probably goes to this. Yeah, this one goes to that one, and then this one goes to this one. I'm guessing. These blades go to her. These blades go to him. This pickaxe goes to him. So, yeah, and then we also have the new Marvel Warriors, Warriors Pack, Black Panther, King's Cloud, Vibranium Daggers, Wakanda, Sky Raider, Captain Marvel, one of my favorite Marvel skins right now, 2 styles, Mask Maker, all these, and also has, okay, so he's inviting me. I'm gonna join him and see what's up.
Lots and lots of cats. But now Mike's refinancing with Amerisea, and we'll be saving a ton of money for years to come. Look, as well as an involuntary
If it does not let me join, I will have to reset my game and then rejoin again, guys. Yeah, I'm just not gonna join. Choosing a new outfit. Clicks. This skin, this combo. I'm probably gonna change this to the driver pickaxe just because it's probably better with it than this is. Probably maybe this combo, and definitely not this. Maybe this, maybe this. I'm already wearing this, maybe that, maybe that. The frozen fishing nippies. What? A roleplay?
And South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem wildly successful RNC.
Depends.
And we got the first look at the administration's
What type of roleplay?
against COVID from Vice President Pence. And before the pandemic gripped the globe, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo stressed the administration's unwavering commitment
Cops and robbers?
to America First principles. President Trump has been successful and was successful.
What would I be in it?
On an America First campaign. Just what happened over the last week or so changed that? Is he now taking a step back and maybe closer to the old Bush days of, look, we got to stay in the Middle East, we got to stay
I'm good.
engaged, or are we going to make that final pivot to Asia anytime soon?
Okay, guys, we're gonna play some creative. Try to get in my lobby. So I stole my grandpa's credit card and get V-Bucks. Nah, that's evil. I'm nice. I'm not doing that. Who would ever do that?
Everything we can to make sure.
You know what? I think we're just gonna have to do something.
The one you just heard from President Trump, forward-looking, optimistic, we can do anything together.
Oh, let's just play box fight. Pretty good at that. Oh yeah, guys, for Christmas I got a new controller. Pretty sure I got a gaming chair coming to me later. I do not know. I'm playing on my new controller right now. It's a it's a dark blue controller with my grip sticks on it. But I have not shoot off yet because if you know me, I don't like grip sticks. So, just got the new Spider-Man loading. It's almost done. Pokemon cards, you feel me? Let me just go ahead and type in code, not clicks.
And so forth. What can you tell the American people about that, given what they've heard about some of these solutions?
Code, not clicks. If you like clicks and you support anyone support clicks, go in the item shop and drop the code not clicks on Fortnite item shop. Also, if you like Simple Gamer, go down in the item shop and press and type in Typical Gamer with no spaces, all one word. So let's get it. Let's go. But I don't know what this is, but okay. Hey guys, looks like we're starting.
That just simply means being able to test a sufficient
I'm gonna kill the default.
to determine those that may have the coronavirus but not be aware of it. But it's simply two different models of testing and making sure that we deploy the resources and activate resources around the country to do both things will be an important part of not only reopening America but keeping America open.
Will you take into account the other fallout, social isolation, depression, suicide, drug abuse, spousal abuse, child abuse, despondency? We saw that after the 2008 collapse. Now the IMF is saying this downturn could be the worst since the Great Depression. So are you taking that into account while you look at all of the medical data underlying the virus itself?
President Trump has said this is clearly going to be the biggest decision of his life. And it's because he's looking at every aspect of this. And when he speaks about his unique responsibility as president, it's because he understands that it's not just a matter of looking at health data. It's a matter of looking at what's in the interest of our economy, what's in the interest, as you rightly apprehend, the emotional and psychological impact on Americans. And he's brought advisors together to bring the full range of counsel to him to make that decision.
Don, your father laid out a clear vision for this country, which is we're moving forward. We've gotten past a lot of the most difficult parts of COVID with the tragedy that it is. And he laid out a vision of optimism and hope, which I just get the sense people are craving in America.
I really do too, Laura. I mean, I felt proud to be an American watching this. And honestly, watching the last 4 days of the RNC, you know, when you compare and contrast that to what was last week, which was this like never-ending "I hate America" Zoom call. I mean, these stories, you know, that's what we happen in America.
Oh no,
the American
so
dream
close,
has been
guys.
over and over to so many people of such diverse backgrounds. It's just been
But on to the next round of box fights. Here we go. Also, if you haven't already and you're new to the stream, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And hope you're having a good day. And also go follow me on Instagram at same as my username, just without all the just the underscore.
Government can try to do. I mean, when you think about the beginning of this 4 years, it was the first time we had a not peaceful transition of power. I mean, that is one of the great American traditions.
Try and get me to 100 100 followers.
Until now, until Donald Trump. And what's amazing about it, though, and what's really amazing about my father, to me, is that despite all that adversity, I mean, trying to throw his family in jail, unmasking his children, a Russia hoax that, I mean, they're still talking about today as though it's real. Impeachment, he still delivered for the American people. He still put his head down, pushed through everything.
God, give me a chance to breathe.
That's an anomaly. That doesn't happen. That's once in a generation at best for an American politician to fight through that kind of adversity and still deliver. And still
But it's okay, guys, because we're still alive.
Coming up,
Got
Christmas message.
a few kills off spawn because no one wants to give me a chance to breathe. Everyone's rushing me off spawn.
Hi, I'm Stu.
I'm Lee, and we live in North Pole, Alaska.
I'm a retired school
Oh shoot! How could I be so stupid?
I've been online about 10 years.
How could I be so stupid to not know someone's coming in from behind me? You know, because the whole lobby wants me. You know, they want the clout.
But the thing missing was my memory. I saw a Prevagen commercial.
They want me. They don't want to leave me alone. They don't want to give me a chance to play the game. They want me. Feel me, chat? They want me.
The manufacturer
Feel me, chat? They want me.
dollars for victims of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
If you are diagnosed with
They is all over me.
lymphoma after using the popular weed killer Roundup, call us right now. You may be entitled to substantial compensation.
Call now. Find out if you may qualify in under 2 minutes.
Call 1-800-434-1717. That's 1-800-434-1717.
Anything in front of a fire can be so relaxing, but dangerous creosote buildup can cause a chimney fire if not removed. Help protect your home with CSL, the creosote sweeping log. It helps clean your chimney while it burns. Inside your chimney walls, there's a constant buildup of flammable tar and creosote. The active minerals in CSL will reduce those dangerous deposits, making your next fire safer. It's so easy. Burn just once every 60 fires. CSL, the creosote sweeping log. Available at the Home Depot, Menards, Tractor Supply, and Walmart.
Selling a home is expensive and stressful, so we set out to create a better home selling experience with a network of the most successful real estate agents in America. They'll sell your home for as little as a 2% commission.
The icing on the cake. You say $12,000 in commission.
They were so stress-free. The whole process was amazing, and I would definitely recommend them.
We are not a discount broker. These are top.
Bro, I almost died to this kid. I don't even know how I died. He was low. But GG's chat. We live to see another day. We're gonna win. We're gonna try and win this next game.
Exclusive
Do 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 do.
every kind of music,
Do 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 do.
including all our holiday channels,
Do 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 do
and
do
you'll only
do
find
do
it all
do.
right here. Get a great offer right now at SiriusXM.com. Discover what SiriusXM
There's no way.
is waiting for you.
I just want clear skin.
Bro, Chad, I don't even know if I can do this anymore.
I tried to have my kitchen on my face. And did any of that work? No. Then
I'm gonna check if Spider-Man's downloading. If it's still when it's done downloading, I'm probably just gonna stream that.
I got my skin cleared.
You know, Miles Morales. You know how it is around here.
Subscribe to consistently.
We always getting lit, y'all. Later, I got some big presents coming to me from my mama's boyfriend's house. Woo woo. I got some big presents coming for me, yeah. I got some big presents. I got some big presents. Doop 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 doop. Oh, and I got some Legos.
It's time to forget your worries and escape to a place where the wilderness is PPR even warmer and with 1,000 wonderful moments waiting to unfold for 100 centuries.
Fox Station presents a patriotic Christmas.
Okay, I'm just gonna open up one bag of Legos right now. I have like 5 of them. I'm just gonna open up one for now. Just to build. When I die, because I know we're gonna die alive.
Christmas starts now. It goes through January 6th.
Oh yeah, by the way, I got these Legos from my auntie for Christmas.
No matter what poem about you.
And I got some of these lost Christmas, so I'm just gonna dump all of them in one bucket.
It's that we need to keep those important people
And make
close.
them
Don't
come
lose touch. We
together.
have to stand up for our way of life, our freedoms, what we believe in, family, God, and America. And it's a sentiment beautifully expressed by President Reagan here 4 decades ago.
Hi.
The Christmas spirit of peace, hope, and love. It's the spirit Americans carry with them all year round, everywhere we go. As long as we do, we need never be afraid, because trusting in God is the one sure answer to all the problems we face.
With God, all things are possible. Couldn't have said what Reagan said better myself. So everybody, just have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Shannon Brigg, Fox News at 19. Take it from here.
The fate of a coronavirus relief package is in jeopardy tonight after House Republicans object to increasing direct payments. Plus, extreme weather blows into the east as Americans prepare to celebrate Christmas. And speaking of Christmas, how some are spreading typical Christmas cheer in an atypical year. This is Special Report.
I'm trying to build as we go, guys. Bear with me.
Christmas Eve, I'm Mike Emanuel, and for Brett Baer, President Trump is spending Christmas Eve at Mar-a-Lago in South Florida as the status of the next round of COVID relief remains in limbo. And even though it's the season of giving, stimulus checks for millions of Americans are on hold. House Republicans voting against the president's demand to increase direct payments to most Americans from $600 to $2,000. And since the COVID package is tied to a massive government spending bill, a veto could trigger a shutdown. Correspondent Mark Meredith is in West Palm Beach, where the president's spending the holiday amid a stimulus stalemate. Maybe Mark.
Good evening to you, Mike. We still do not know whether or not the president will or will not sign that $900 billion stimulus package. That was the bill that Congress has already approved.
Let's flipping go chat.
Now, we're really trying to avert disaster here, with millions of Americans also wondering if they're going to get a check or not.
We did it. We won chat. Let's go.
This morning, House Democrats tried but failed to approve the president's latest demand to
Let's
increase the
go,
amount of money some
chat.
Americans would get in direct stimulus payments.
Let's go chat.
Democrats are trying to get
Let's go chat.
The holdup? House Republicans are not on board.
Hello?
Lawmakers scrambling to figure out if and when emergency checks will go out.
Yeah.
Congress and the White House can't agree on what they want.
I'm saying chat because I'm
House and
streaming.
Senate approved a $900 billion stimulus package that would send $600 directly to some Americans. Late Tuesday, the president released a video complaining it's not enough.
I am asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple.
The president says he's also upset the stimulus is tied to a $1.4 trillion spending package, which includes billions of dollars in foreign aid. Some Republicans say it's a fight for habit.
It's up to Congress to right this wrong, and I appreciate the Republicans standing firm on that, and I hope that we can eliminate that waste, fraud, and abuse in the budget.
The government faces a potential shutdown next week if the president and Congress don't make a deal.
It's a holy season. Thank God for the
In his Christmas message, the president praised Americans helping the country through the pandemic, but made no mention of the 26 people he pardoned Tuesday night. The list includes some notable names. Paul Manafort was the Trump campaign chairman in 2016 and was sentenced to 7 years in prison for tax and bank fraud tied to the Mueller probe. Manafort reacting in a tweet writing, quote, "Mr. President, my family and I humbly thank you for the presidential pardon you bestowed on me. Words cannot fully convey how grateful we are." Roger Stone, the president's longtime political confidant, was also pardoned. Stone, whose sentence was already commuted this year, had been convicted of lying to Congress and witness tampering.
They wanted me to bear false witness against the president, and I refused to do so. I think that's what this charge was about from the beginning.
Also on the pardon list, Charles Kushner, the father of the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner. In 2005, the real estate executive was convicted of tax evasion and witness tampering tied to a family scandal. Within hours of the pardon list being released, there was outrage from lawmakers, including Nebraska GOP Senator Ben Sasse, who in a one-sentence statement wrote, quote, "This is rotten to the core."
We're still waiting to see if the president may issue some more pardons while he's down here in Florida. As for Congress on Monday, the House is going to be working to override the president's veto of the National Defense Authorization Act.
Also on Monday, the House Speaker says the House will be working on whether or not to increase those stimulus payments once again with a roll call vote. These are the payments that the president says he wants. Essentially, stay tuned. Mike, it should be a busy next week. Mark Meredith starting us off in West Palm Beach. Mark, many thanks. Here's some good news. Stocks were up today. The Dow gained 70, the S&P 500 rose 13, NASDAQ jumped 34. A massive Russia-linked cyber attack allowing hackers to spend months mining federal government networks and private company systems across the globe is proving to have larger than expected implications, and now a new warning from the federal government. Correspondent David Spunt has the latest.
A Christmas Eve warning for local governments across the country, not even a week after cybersecurity officials announced a widespread digital intrusion into several federal agencies. Those same officials warned local municipalities may also need bills. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency warns it is tracking a significant cyber incident impacting enterprise networks across federal, state, and local governments. Last week, authorities announced hackers infiltrated SolarWinds, a company that provides software for public and private organizations. Hackers dived into the departments of Commerce and Energy. Diva County, Arizona's computer systems were in the hackers' crosshairs, though county officials say no compromising data was stolen.
I always die this kid. This kid's a zero pain. He always exploits me somehow.
Dangerous malware.
They still have the ability in networks.
Got me a million, I did it legit. To my heart, y'all. Y'all.
They really wanted to go that route.
Bear with me, guys. I'm building here as we go.
Potential victim. The company says it was not impacted.
It will take us weeks to start the full extent of what's been taken and months to remediate.
Lawmakers in Washington are calling for an investigation.
I can't die to this guy. Bro, it's not done yet.
It's
almost done.
You
go faster if you turn off the game.
Both the current and future president must work together to prevent another outbreak.
This is going to be a very long response process. It's not a let's just have a meeting.
Got me a million, I did it legit. Come on, hot. I got me a million, I did it legit. I talk on it.
Delaware sources tell Fox News there are ongoing discussions over whether a special counsel should take over the Hunter Biden tax investigation after former Attorney General Bill Barr rebuffed President Trump's request before he resigned. This is President-elect Biden's managing pressure from interest groups as he
got me a million, I did it legit. I told my shit to my heart.
Citing the special counsel statute. One source saying a president-elect coming in where his appointed attorneys will be investigating his son. That's textbook conflict.
His business associates and their business activities.
Of course, I'm getting double teamed all the time because this nerd doesn't know how to fucking stay in his own place.
Compromise the foreign policy of
that kid, you see him fighting, so back off.
President, and the guy in Delaware doesn't have that mandate.
Got me a million, I did it legit. I got me a million, I did it legit. Come on, huh? I got me a million, I did it legit. My heart.
Speaking of that, Jackie, Mr. Biden was expected
Are we
any closer?
Oh, it's just me and this kid and another kid.
On Tuesday, there's no obvious choice in his mind, in part because age, gender, and racial diversity has been such a debate in these cabinet picks, and now pressure from interest groups is also weighing on his choice for labor secretary.
I'm gonna help this kid kill this kid, because you know what? This kid's annoying.
Being strongly considered, his current support from a number of prominent union heads, and Democrats see him as a path to laborers who supported President
I get that. Well, I suck at this game.
who presided over his second inauguration in 2018, but the Congressional Black Caucus said
what am I gonna do with my life?
The Asian American and Pacific Islander Caucus called on Biden to appoint the AAPI nominee to the cabinet spot. The Congressional Hispanic Caucus is also making a push. One source told me it is not just race that Biden is factoring in, also experiences and viewpoints.
Jackie, next slide. With the high-stakes Senate runoffs in Georgia less than 2 weeks away, President Trump's veto of a defense spending bill and growing uncertainty surrounding him signing the COVID stimulus package could have a big impact on those races. Correspondent Jonathan Serian has that story tonight in Atlanta.
Democrats Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff spent part of their Christmas Eve delivering food for an Atlanta charity. The two Senate candidates received an unexpected gift from the president in his rebuke of Capitol Hill lawmakers for being too stingy on stimulus checks.
President Trump is, as ever, erratic and all over the place. But on this point tonight, he's right. $600 is a joke. They should send $2,000 checks to the American people right now because people are hurting.
Republican Senator Kelly Loeffler said she'd consider larger checks if the money is redirected from wasteful spending in other areas. But Democrats are criticizing Loeffler and fellow Georgia Senator David Perdue for their continued silence on whether they will vote to override President Trump's veto of the annual defense spending bill. A party spokesperson says Senator Loeffler must choose. Will she buck President Trump or block critical funding for Georgia's service members and military facilities? More than 2 million Georgians have already cast early ballots in the January 5th runoffs. A voting rights group founded by Georgia Democrat Stacey Abrams has filed a federal lawsuit to block a conservative Texas watchdog from challenging the eligibility of more than 364,000 Georgia voters, saying it amounts to widespread and well-publicized attempts at voter suppression and intimidation. With nearly $500 million invested in the Georgia Senate runoffs, the New York Times is...
Oh, I built like a twisty, windy thingy type thing on my build here. I don't know what I was doing. I'm just doing it. I got in a kind of a...
No doubt about it. Jonathan Serian, Atlanta. Jonathan, thanks. A winter storm in Nebraska has already claimed 3 lives, and the National Weather Service predicts a wide range of hazardous weather is on the way for much of the East this Christmas. Fox News Chief Meteorologist Rick Reichmuth joins us now to tell us what we can expect. Good evening, Rick.
Good evening, Mike.
Be a jerk off and shoot me because I didn't. This kid's a jerk off. This kid has sex with his mom in the parking lot.
Now, go to the East Coast, take a look at these temperatures. About a week and a half ago, we had a
Do
massive plus the rain that's falling and potentially a lot of trees going down.
Bro, just go ahead and double team me, you know?
Basements flooded and maybe some rivers and streams and ponding on the roads. The southern side of this storm.
And then I get just go ahead, let the whole lobby come on.
Into the Carolinas, you notice the snow turning into snow behind us across parts of the central Appalachians. Then we have severe weather out in front of us across parts of the Outer Banks. We'll be looking at a few tornadoes over the next couple of hours. And then very heavy rain into the northeast. Again, a lot of areas have snow on the ground. That rain might total in a few spots, maybe 2 to 4 inches of rain. And behind it, then we'll see the snow. Where you see this pink, those are winter storm warnings in effect. Probably 4 to 8 inches of snow by the time this is done. One last thing, Mike, that we're going to be watching from this storm is incredible winds. Tonight, during the overnight hours, we might see some winds gusting 50 to 70 miles an hour in places like New York City. That means we're going to be talking about some pretty significant power outages for people waking up on Christmas morning. Mike?
Wow, much of that sounds like another good reason to stay home. Rick, thanks a lot. Despite warnings to stay home, millions of Americans are flying the friendly skies this Christmas week. According to the TSA, more than 5 million people passed through the airport security checkpoints between Friday and Tuesday alone, and even more are getting in their cars. Correspondent Garrett Tenney is at Chicago's O'Hare Airport with more.
Americans are heading home for the holidays. Nearly 85 million people are expected to travel over the next week and a half, according to AAA. The vast majority are avoiding crowded airports and packed planes to drive to their destinations. That's despite public health officials urging folks to stay home as states report record numbers of hospitalizations due to the coronavirus.
This type of travel is risky. I'm afraid that if, in fact, we see this happen, we will have a surge that's superimposed upon the difficult situation we are already in. So it could be a very difficult January coming up if these things happen.
A lot of folks we spoke to acknowledge they're taking risk by traveling, but say for them, being reunited with family is worth it.
There's tension in the air, a little bit of risk involved, and just hoping for the best. Being as safe as possible.
I just felt like I needed to be around with who I can be before I lose too many more.
I think we are scared of COVID, during our daily lives. So I think this is something I have to do, just to see my family a couple of days and then come back.
This week, travel is down 40%. Overall, holiday travel is expected to drop by at least 29% compared to last year, as more than 3/4 of Americans stay home for the holidays, according to AAA.
Just like at Thanksgiving, people have been doing a wait-and-see approach, kind of deciding at the last minute. And though while people may have travel plans, they may cancel and stay home just because of the pandemic and the rise of COVID-19 cases.
For those who do travel over the holidays, the CDC recommends getting tested before and after your trip, limiting the number of people you interact with, and then quarantining for 7 days when you get back home. Mike?
Garrett Tenney at Chicago O'Hare. Garrett, thanks a lot. Still ahead, creative ways to still be social during this pandemic, and an alarming trend on the southern border, and agents don't see it stopping anytime soon. We'll explain.
The holidays are a time for giving.
To your friends, your family,
To your teacher.
in that spirit of giving,
Chevy's proud to give our employee discounts to everyone.
the Chevy price you pay
Is what we pay. That is stand for.
because giving and giving back is what the holidays are all about.
Use the Chevy employee discount for everyone to get a total value of over $8,400 on this Silverado. Get the Chevy employee discount for everyone today.
This year we decided to host for the holidays.
It was a tight squeeze. It turns out to cook a whole dinner, you need a whole kitchen. Then we found out with Rocket Mortgage looking at loan options for our next kitchen was easy.
Just ignore that.
I think her family really enjoyed it.
When you're ready for a home that's fit for the holidays and your budget,
Go to
Rocket can.
If you have moderate to severe psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis, little things can become your big moment. That's why there's Otezla. Otezla is not an injection or a cream. It's a pill that treats differently. For psoriasis, 75% clearer skin is achievable with reduced redness, thickness, and scaliness of plaques. For psoriatic arthritis, Otezla is proven to reduce joint swelling, tenderness, and pain. And the Otezla prescribing information has no requirement for routine lab monitoring. Don't use if you're allergic to Otezla. It may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Otezla is associated with an increased risk of depression. Tell your doctor if you have a history of depression or suicidal thoughts, or if these feelings develop. Some people taking Otezla reported weight loss. Your doctor should monitor your weight and may stop treatment. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur. Tell your doctor about your medicines and if you're pregnant or planning to be. Otezla, show more of you.
Need to promote your small business now more than ever? Get 10 free images from Shutterstock. Create websites, emails, social posts, and more quickly and easily. Shutterstock. Start your free trial today.
I tried everything to get clear skin. Then I found Proactive. They have 3 different systems with clinically proven ingredients and tested by dermatologists. Subscribe today at Proactive.com. All delivered right to your door.
Your reward is the 5 answer your Christmas questions.
Greg, is there anything that doesn't turn you into a Grinch?
I would like to try next time.
Don't miss out Christmas Day on the 5.
Chris Berman, welcome back to the Business Motor Protection Show on the
Hello?
brought to you by Car Shield. If your car is
Hello?
on warranty or close to expiring,
Huh?
get stuck paying
Hello?
for engine, transmission, or computer system breakdown. But when you're Car Shield, you'll never pay for covered repairs again. Car Shield makes sure you don't have to pay for expensive car repairs. That's why I for Car Shield.
Call 800-987-3360.
Oh, you think this is just a community center? No, it's way more than that. Because when you have our community over the internet, boom, look at Ariana crashing virtual worlds. Jamal chasing that college dream. Michael doing something crazy. This is the place where we can show the world what we can do. Comcast is partnering with 1,000 community centers to create Wi-Fi-enabled live zones so students from low-income families can get the tools they need to be ready for any day. And we're ready.
U.S. forces launched an airstrike in Somalia today, damaging an al-Qaeda-linked compound, sending several al-Shabaab fighters fleeing. U.S. African Command says the move thwarted nefarious activity and currently assesses no civilians were injured or killed as a result of this operation. The United States military continues to move its forces out of the war-torn country. A distressing trend from our southern border, where the number of children illegally crossing without their parents is on the rise. William Martinez explains why the increase is occurring even with the backdrop of this pandemic.
I have a body camera in between the fences.
That should be alarming to anyone. An unaccompanied child crossing an international border by themselves.
A surge of unaccompanied children has border agents on alert.
Children and minors are being trafficked in more remote locations out in the west area of Rio Grande Valley or South Texas.
Here, a smuggler crosses the border near Brownsville with 4 children, all under age 7. When agents approach, he abandons the kids and rafts back to Mexico. Confused, wet, and shivering, the children huddle until the Border Patrol arrives.
The other day where we had, I think, a 3-year-old child with a phone number written on her leg and then some information written on her T-shirt. You know, and to me, that is just a recipe for disaster.
The phone numbers make it easy for U.S. officials to contact parents or relatives already here. Unaccompanied children crossing the border jumped from 25 a day in April to 150 a day now. DHS officials say 35% of the kids test positive for COVID.
I'm worried for my coworkers, I'm worried for my family, I'm worried for my friends, I'm worried for migrants.
Why the increase? Floods and the pandemic. The election of Joe Biden. Judges ruling that
Okay, I'm chat. I am back, but I am going to be eating some chocolate pie.
Agents say that has overwhelmed the limited number of available beds.
We don't want to keep them in our custody any longer than we have to. Our facilities aren't equipped for that.
Agents fear the rise in unaccompanied children will continue since they cannot be deported despite the pandemic. Incoming President Biden says he will keep current border restrictions in place pending the 6-month review. In Los Angeles, William Martinez, Fox News. Up next, an unusual Christmas with usual positivity. First, here's what some of our Fox affiliates around the country are covering tonight. Fox 5 in San Diego. Evacuation orders went into effect early this morning at Camp Pendleton as a wildfire grew to some 3,000 acres. Around 7,000 residents were affected by the mandate in this area between San Diego and Los Angeles. That fire is about 35% contained. Fox 5 in New York. Amid a surge in shootings in the Empire State, nearly 9,000 New Yorkers applied for gun permits this year, more than 3 times the amount of applicants during the same span last year. However, last year, nearly 70% of applications were approved. This year, less than 14% are being granted. And this is a live look at Tampa Bay from our affiliate Fox 13. The big story there tonight. And as Rick Reitmuth reported, dicey weather's moving in. Florida will experience unusually low temperatures with a chance of falling iguanas. The phenomenon occurs when temperatures drop below 40 degrees, making the cold-blooded reptiles immobile, which can cause them to fall from their tree perch. It's all fun and games until one of them lands on you. That's tonight's live look outside the Beltway from a special report. We'll be right back.
I'm just gonna play it by myself and go in creative and build.
Where our new owners can choose national or hometown charity, and Subaru and our retailers will proudly make a donation. But now, in times like these, companies are having a hard choice to make. But Subaru is more than we cannot just stand by, which is why we plan to donate over $24 million again this year. The Subaru Share the Love event going on now.
When managing diabetes, you can't always stop for a finger stick. With the Freestyle Libre 14-day system, a continuous glucose monitor, you don't have to. With a painless 1-second scan, you can check your glucose with a smartphone, so you can stay in the moment. You can do it without finger sticks. Ask your doctor for a prescription today. And if you join the My Freestyle program, you can try the Freestyle Libre 14-day system for free. Learn more at myfreestyle.us.
Sandals Grand Antigua was incredible.
The pool was as large as the ocean.
And the beach was perfect.
We're still raving about this service.
He loved the diving. He'd always wanted to try it.
Our suite was so exotic. It even had a pool.
We dined at 11 restaurants.
All included, just like everything else.
But what I remember most was falling in love all over again. Sandals Grand Antigua. Save up to 65%. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
5 years ago, I told you your mattress was awful. Remember this guy? Well, you were still using wireless, yes. Are you still sleeping on that hot, sticky memory foam mattress, or did you take my advice and buy the only mattress with the purple grid? Because the purple grid inside the purple mattress isn't like all those other mattresses using the same memory foam, which is sweltering, angry, and remembers things, apparently. So stop fighting science. Purple mattress, so you can start sleeping. I was at a point in my life where I knew something was missing.
I wanted to try to find someone that wanted to experience life together. My matchmaker was awesome. She asked me a lot of questions that were driven to get to know me better, what my likes were, what my dislikes were.
With over 25 years of experience and millions of matches arranged, It's Just Lunch is the world's #1 personalized matchmaking service.
So I love working with my matchmaker. I would give feedback after every date.
I'm a busy man. I own my own business. It's Just Lunch. Set everything up. They set up the restaurant. They set up the date. They made it simple. I am so glad that I'm listening to them.
Because It's Just Lunch believes that meeting face-to-face is the best way to tell if there's true chemistry. We guarantee you'll go on dates.
I went to It's Just Lunch, exploring a whole lot more.
Find out what our matchmakers can do for you. It's just lunch, but imagine the possibilities.
Okay, I'm eating and playing at the time, so.
December is regularly one of the highest grossing months for restaurants, but this irregular year is proving to be a costly challenge. And with most in-person holiday parties canceled, uncertainty among the industry is rising. Correspondent Rich Edson breaks it all down for us tonight.
The industry as a whole is in a very difficult place.
This is usually a time of year when party planners like Heidi Hiller make a significant share of their income. This year, those large, profitable holiday parties are off.
We are not only rebuilding after a pandemic, but we are going to be rebuilding after an economic collapse.
More than half of companies are skipping hosting a holiday party this year. The highest rate since consulting firm Challenger Gray and Christmas began this survey in 2004. 44% of businesses canceled parties because of COVID. 5% say they've dropped their parties to cut costs. And that's on top of local governments suspending in-person dining.
December traditionally is the second highest grossing month for the restaurant industry. So we are seeing shutdowns at literally the worst time.
The National Restaurant Association says it surveyed full-service restaurants. Nearly 2 out of 3 restaurants say they expect more furloughs and layoffs over the next 3 months. And restaurants say selling only virtual party packages and takeout still leaves them short.
We've tried to come up with some other ideas, things about, maybe doing some virtual things and catering out to offices or homes, but to be very candid, there's no replacing the lost business.
Health officials are warning Americans to avoid unnecessary travel during the holidays. And there's also concern about the impact of a year of social isolation.
Whether it's not seeing family, whether it's not seeing friends, there's a real void there for many individuals in terms of where they feel connected, who they feel connected to, who they feel supported by.
Doctors also say Americans should still try to connect with others at a distance, however possible. Whether it's video calls, volunteering, dropping off food, or holiday-like displays. Just letting others know you're thinking of them. Mike?
Good advice. Rich Henson, thanks a lot. Christmas Eve is looking a lot different, not only here at home, but all across the globe. And even though you may be celebrating differently, as Senior Foreign Affairs correspondent Amy Kellogg reports, there are some signs of hope.
No midnight mass. The Pope celebrated at 7:30 p.m. in a comparatively empty St. Peter's. This as two cardinals close to the Holy Father test positive for COVID-19. One is quite sick. The Pope has tried hard this season to keep spirits bright as can be. As an early Christmas gift, he told Vatican staffers that nobody would lose their job as a consequence of the pandemic. No such promises on the streets of Italy, where businesses have been hard hit. Roman Christmas carolers, the Seven Hills Singers, try to bring cheer to the shopping district anyway, just before Italy goes into another lockdown for much of the holiday season. And this church in Trastevere is turned into a homeless shelter.
COVID-19 has brought everyone to their knees. As I said, I do not wish anyone to be on the street, really. I have never slept on the street, but during the past 2 months, I have been sleeping on the street.
Everything feels different. The Vatican's postmodernist ceramic nativity scene has drawn some grumbles from the more traditional. Its astronaut figurine, a nod to the lunar landing that happened around the time the vintage set was created, a symbol of progress. At San Mignato's 1,000-year-old monastery and basilica in Florence, the abbot points to progress in that he's allowed a congregation tonight, unlike Easter when it was banned. The message of Christmas, so simple, yet strong.
A child is born for us. This is the message of hope and peace.
And the abbot at San Mignato says that hope can have a concrete manifestation in the vaccines that are finally on the way. Mike.
Amy Kellogg, thanks very much. Up next, the $900 billion coronavirus relief package could be in jeopardy. The panel joins me to discuss. First, beyond our borders tonight, a Pakistani court is ordering the release of all
sorry guys, I'm not talking.
the man convicted in the 2000
I'm just really bored.
murder of Wall Street Journal reporter Daniel Pearl. The court also overturned life sentences for 3 accomplices. Pearl was working in Pakistan in 2002, investigating Al-Qaeda networks there. Authorities say the 4 men kidnapped him from Karachi and brutally killed him days later. The European Union and the United Kingdom reached a post-Brexit free trade deal today, just days before the UK is scheduled to finalize its departure from the bloc. The deal should avert an economic break between the two sides, squashing fears of tariffs if no deal was achieved. And thousands of Vietnamese pot-bellied pigs are snorting and squealing their way across Puerto Rico as the island struggles to contain them. The non-native species are reproducing at such an alarming rate that the U.S. territory declared a health emergency last year, so federal officials could start eradicating them. Just some of the other stories beyond our borders tonight. We'll be right back.
With COVID-19, having good health insurance is more important than ever. But liberals in Washington are pushing a government-run healthcare scheme that could take away the health insurance that my job provides, wiping out the coverage I earned and depend on, and be left with few choices, poor care, and tax hikes on middle-class families like mine. Even worse, their healthcare plan could put hospitals at risk of shutting. Their scheme would be a disaster. Call Congress today and tell them to take their hands off our healthcare.
With Metro by T-Mobile, Hector rules his home. This year, he's putting in the extra miles.
All right, let's take care of it.
And saving up for something special. So nothing gets in the way of their holiday. You work hard. Switching to Metro isn't. This season, there's 0 fees to switch. Get our lowest price on unlimited, just $25 a line for 4 lines, plus 4 free Galaxy phones. Metro by T-Mobile, empowering Hector to rule his holiday.
I have something to show you so that you can save money.
I saw a YouTube video. They use this like extension called Honey.
And you can put it in to your browser.
Add extension. There it is.
It automatically searches the best coupons on the internet.
And there's Connie right there. Oh, there you go.
Oh my gosh.
This is fun.
Get honey for free at jointhoney.com/free.
What's up, Shay? What's up, man? She get a rob. What's up, man? What's up? You talk too much, but I still hit on that dip.
Student loans don't have to take over for the rest of your life.
Thank you for allowing me to get my money right.
But I still hit on that dip. Guys, I'm gonna run the other side.
Transitions, light under control. Transition Signature Jet 8. Available now in 4 new style colors. Transitions.
Need visuals to help your work stand out? Get 10 free images from Shutterstock. Design websites, emails, social posts, and more quickly and easily. Shutterstock. Start your free trial today.
Priceline works with top hotels to save you up to 60%. So great. And when you get a big deal, you feel like a big deal. Priceline. Every trip is a big deal.
Alerts. They remind and warn us. If you have type 2 diabetes and risks for heart disease, you could land in the hospital with heart failure. For people like you, Farxiga does more than lower A1C. Farxiga also helps prevent hospitalization for heart failure.
Do not take if allergic to Farxiga. Symptoms of a serious allergic reaction include rash, swelling, difficulty breathing, or swallowing. Stop taking and seek medical help right away. Tell your doctor right away if you have red color in urine, or pain while you urinate, or a genital area infection, since a rare but serious genital infection may be life-threatening. Do not take Farxiga if you have severe kidney problems or are on dialysis. Other serious side effects include dehydration, genital yeast and bacterial infections in women and men, urinary tract infections, low blood sugar, and sudden kidney problems. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of ketoacidosis, which is serious and may lead to death.
Answer the alert. Ask your doctor if Farxiga could do more for you. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
I'm asking Congress to amend this bill and increase the ridiculously low $600 to $2,000 or $4,000 for a couple.
House Republicans rejected the unanimous consent request, blocking that increase though sought by Democrats and now also by President Trump. The American people
But I still hit on the dip.
The Democrats are trying to get the higher stimulus payments.
Was this bill perfect? No. But it was the down payment of giving liberty to the people of this country. The president, when we finally thought that we'd be able to give people hope, doesn't give a damn about people. He threw more fear. He threw kerosene on a terrifier. And is now threatening to veto this bill.
The House Democratic leadership tried to give President Trump what he wants, increasing the amount of direct stimulus payments from $600 to $2,000. House Republicans blocked it, making for some very interesting politics these days on this Christmas Eve. With that, let's bring in our panel. Charles Lane, opinion writer for The Washington Post, Republican strategist Lisa Booth, and Jason Riley, Wall Street Journal columnist and senior fellow at the Manhattan Institute. Jason, where are we?
Well, we're in a bit of a bind here, I think. I'm referring first to your earlier segment about what's going down in Georgia. I think the president is giving a lot of political hay to the Democrats in that race and making life very difficult for Perdue and then Kelly Loeffler. the Republican senators who are trying to hang on to those seats. You know, they voted for that $600. I'm sorry, they voted for that defense bill initially earlier this week that the president vetoed, and now they're in the position of having to either stick with their guns or cross the president. And it's similar with the Corona relief bill. The White House negotiators, mainly Steve Mnuchin, the Treasury Secretary, negotiated the $600 amount. Republicans were on board, and now the president wants to take the position of the Democrats in Georgia running for those seats, which of course will give Democrats control of the Senate. So the president's really putting Republican control of the Senate in jeopardy, among other things that he's doing with these last-minute demands.
Because of the way the sausage is made on Capitol Hill, you come to the end of the year and you've got to do a government funding package that was scheduled to go through the end of next September, and they also want to do COVID relief, and so they threw them all together, and we wait to see if the president's going to sign it or veto it. Lisa?
Right, and I think there's an important distinction to be made. President Trump, raised the threat, but he's really asking Congress to address the issue and asking for congressional fix. So he hasn't specifically said that he's absolutely going to veto it. So I think that's an important distinction to be made, trying to add additional pressure to Congress. We also have things like unemployment benefits that are set to expire, which I think add pressure to the president potentially going ahead and signing this thing. But look, you cannot look at the past few months.
Hello, Mom.
Congress has done, not say that
What are you doing?
If you look at the HEALS Act
Where are you at?
in July,
I'm in New York. Didn't you know?
That $900 billion deal. There's no reason this couldn't have all been addressed.
Nothing. Playing my game.
Of course, we know the reason was because Nancy Pelosi essentially was withholding that and trying to
When is Ron coming?
getting a win before the election, which in turn really
Okay.
American people further.
I've been waiting all day.
You've been waiting all day? Wait a little longer.
Why?
Because when you have patience, you get further.
I do have patience, and I ain't been getting nowhere.
The second largest stimulus bill in American history.
Okay, well, I'll call you in a minute.
Before signing it, so all of this.
What, is he already there?
I think it's really just an indictment of the brokenness of Congress.
Yeah, he's here. He knows the rules.
From Congress, and really just.
How you gonna call me a nosy,
I'm
bro?
happy with the way your room is though right now. Huh?
Putting some of his allies.
How you gonna call me nosy, bro?
I want to move your chair, and there's a bunch of shit stashed underneath your little cabinet in there. Not cool.
My cabin.
Yeah, your little stuff you got in there. There's a bunch of garbage and shit. Yeah. Not impressed. So when you do get home, you are going to be cleaning that up. And then you need to go into your bed, and you need to clean all that shit up too.
Yeah, of course I do.
Which was not.
Huh?
Of course I do.
$2,000.
Okay, love you, bye.
When am I not?
Okay, I don't have time for your goodbye.
It's going to hold up a bill that is a lot of benefits to the unemployed, the workers in service industries, workers in the airline industries, for the sake of an extra $1,000 or so in families that they go up to twice the median income, who probably, in the scheme of things, should not be first in line for free government money at this point. And so I think, no good deed goes unpunished. McCarthy tried to save face by drawing attention to the foreign aid complaints. But yeah, once again, the Republicans on the Hill and the president are crossways.
And we look ahead to early next week, there's going to be the override vote on the National Defense Authorization Act, another huge piece of legislation putting Republicans in an awkward spot, right, Jason?
Yes, this is going to be a replay of this week. Republicans are going to be in an awkward spot. I share some of the president's disagreements with both bills, the defense bill and the omnibus bill. I don't think they're. My problems are a little different than the president's. The problem with the omnibus bill is not that the payments to families aren't big enough. I think what families really need is to get back to work, and no government check can replicate what the economic engine of the United States will do once we put our foot on the gas. And so to the extent that these payments discourage people from returning to work, unemployment benefit add-ons that pay people more to stay home rather than go back to work, they could be doing more harm to the economy in the long run. So it's not a perfect bill. It has its flaws, but checks being too small is not the problem.
Lisa, we're running short in this panel. We'll have plenty more to talk about next panel, but your thoughts on this override vote that comes up early next week?
Well, it's sort of a safe veto because both in the House and the Senate, they likely have the numbers to override it. So he gets to veto it, raise concerns about Section 230, really kind of give the middle finger to big tech, which actively worked against him, actively worked to help Joe Biden
Okay,
in this last
I'm going to
election,
enter
knowing
now.
that Congress likely has the numbers.